Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Devotion to Writing, a channel devoted to helping you cultivate a daily writing practice and realize that you are creative abundance, that you don't need to learn, to understand anything more in order to write than you already possess. What you already have within you is enough. So I've been a little less visible these past couple of weeks. My own life has brought me some major changes, things that have pulled me away from my writing and from this space and from the work that I care about the most. And coming back today, I am reminded of something very important, and that is that there is always something in life that can pull us away from what our heart is calling us toward. And for me, that's writing and creating and making these videos, helping other people write. It's making something that is my expression. And what I am reminded of this morning is the true meaning of devotion. That devotion is about consistency, that there are always going to be things that come up. And in fact, it's quite easy to be devoted when things are going well. But when difficulties, when obstacles, when life events come that complicate things, can we still show up? And how can we show up for ourselves? Because it is important. And I do recognize that for me, this brief hiatus, this stepping back was important. It has given me some perspective. It has given me some energy to return. But devotion is about getting back to what we are desiring, what we love, what our heart is calling us toward to do. And again, I reiterate that for me is writing. It is art. It is creating. It is showing up in this space. So even when we're pulled away, as I have been these past several weeks, because things have been busy and full and demanding and complicated, it's been an opportunity for me to pause and ask what matters most, and that is this. This is still important to me, so it has helped me reprioritize. And when things come up in our life that take us away from our writing, from creating, from communing with our creative selves, it is important to look at and prioritize. It requires that we can reprioritize. Where do we put writing in? How do we fit this in? Where do I have time? And that's what I've had to do these last couple of weeks. How can I still find time to do what I care about? So when we choose our priorities, we don't just name them, we create space for them, space for the things that we are prioritizing. And so today I came back to this truth that writing matters to me. This work of devotion to writing matters to me. It fills something in me that nothing else does, that nothing else can complete. And so when life shifts, as it always does, we're invited to ask again, where does writing live in our lives right now, today? Where can I make space for it today? Even a small space, even a small amount of time. As I've said many times in my past videos, that you don't have to write for hours every day, right? Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Even that small amount of time consecrates the moment. It is a moment in which you can be with you, with the aliveness that you are. And this can mean so much, especially when you are living in difficult moments, living through the difficulties of life. And that is a lot of life. There are many difficult moments, complicated times. And so our writing, our devotion can be that 5, 10, 15 minutes where we can be with ourselves and commune with what is important and what is great, because it doesn't take hours. It just takes us to be present for even short amounts of time. So wherever you are today, whatever has pulled you away, perhaps from your writing, whatever it is that you are dealing with whatever events and happenings and circumstances in your life, if writing is calling to you, prioritize some amount of time, just a little bit. This video perhaps is your invitation to come back. Come back to the page, come back to your practice, the practice of writing, to commune with what matters to you, and start attending to this relationship between you and your creativity, you and your creative self, you and the written word, you and the page, you and your story, you and your poems. When your life sets up obstacles, when circumstances make writing feel pointless or absurd, or simply less of a priority at the moment, as they have for me, I think of, as I did this morning, what Polish poet Wisława Szymborska wrote in her beautiful poem, Possibilities. She says, "I prefer the absurdity of writing poems to the absurdity of not writing poems." And when life is complicated, when we are busy, when we have demands, it may feel quite absurd to be devoting yourself to writing. Or when there's so much going on in the world, it may feel absurd to be writing. But choose the absurdity of devoting yourself to something that brings you joy and that creates beauty in your life over the absurdity of doing nothing. That's the way I weigh it. It may feel absurd to be writing at this time, but it is more absurd to be doing nothing, to not be tending to what matters to your spirit, to your heart. So commit today, commit one drastic, one fantastic act of making. Bring yourself to the page. Will yourself to be at the page for one short moment and to create something of beauty, something musical, something new. Give some gift, some new gift to the world, because what you set on the page, one image, one line, one idea or reflection, has never been. So dare live as one who is creating life, as opposed to one to whom life is merely happening. It's a choice. Devotion is a choice. We can choose to carve out 5 minutes or 15 minutes from our day, and we can choose not to. We can choose to create beauty. We can choose to commit an image, a metaphor, to utter something. Or we can choose to remain silent and do nothing. So I hope you'll get to the page today. I know that if you do get to the page and you give yourself time to write, something will come, because it can't not. If you just open up and relax and allow, something will come, because you are abundant. You are so full of creative energy that if you get that critic out of the way, if you just step aside and let something happen, something spontaneously will happen. So I hope you write today. I know that if you do write, you will write beautifully, because beautiful is what you are. I'll see you at the page. Blessings.